Sit down, I already poured your drink. It's quiet tonight, just you and me. I like it this way. Fewer people, fewer distractions, more room for the things that need to be said. Have you ever been thirsty? Truly thirsty, and the water didn't help? Not dehydration, something deeper. A want that sits below your stomach, below your chest, in a place you didn't know how to shape until it was empty. A man came in here once, smelled like cedar and old stone, trail dust on his boots, sunburn across the bridge of his nose. He ordered water, not a drink, water, and drank 3 glasses before he said a word. Then he pushed the glass away and told me it wasn't working. Nothing was working. He'd just come back from Japan, the Kumano Kodo, an ancient pilgrimage trail through the mountains of Wakayama. 1,000 years old, stone paved in places, cutting through cedar forests so dense the sky disappears. He'd walked it for 11 days, and he'd found something in the forest that he should have left alone. Japan has more vending machines per capita than any country on Earth. You find them everywhere, train platforms, temple gates, the lobbies of business hotels, but you also find them in places that make no sense, at the top of a hiking trail, at the edge of a rice paddy, on a coastal road 3 kilometers from the nearest house. They glow in the dark, someone stocks them, someone pays the electricity. You never see who. He told me he'd bought from them without thinking, the way everyone does. You're tired, you're sweating, you put in your coins and the bottle drops and the cold hits your hand and you don't ask questions. You don't wonder where the power comes from or why there's a machine in a forest that hasn't changed in a millennium. He was 9 days in when he took a wrong turn. Not dangerously wrong. The Kumano Kodo has side trails that loop back. He followed one thinking it was a shortcut. The path narrowed. The canopy closed in. The trail markers stopped appearing. The stones under his feet were old, moss-covered, set with a regularity that said human hands, but the ferns had grown over everything, and after 40 minutes he realized he wasn't looping back. He was going deeper. No phone signal, no route numbers. Just old stone and silence and the particular green darkness of a forest that doesn't want you there. He was about to turn back when he saw the light, blue-white, fluorescent, that specific color of a vending machine in shade, 30 meters off the trail, through a gap in the trees. A clearing, small, 10 meters across. The ground was packed earth, swept clean, no leaves, no fallen branches, as if someone maintained it. And in the center, a vending machine. Old, not vintage, not charming, old the way things get old when they've been left alone for a very long time. The casing was white but yellowed. The fluorescent tube behind the display panel flickered at a frequency that made his teeth ache. The coin slot was brass, tarnished green. The drinks were wrong. Not Coca-Cola, not Boss Coffee. Brands he'd never seen, in cans and bottles with designs from another decade. An orange soda called Plassie in a glass bottle with a pull-tab cap. A milk coffee in a squat can, showing a woman in a perm and shoulder pads. A sports drink in a shape that doesn't exist anymore, with text in a font that felt like the 1980s. The prices were wrong too. 100 yen for a soda, 80 for a coffee. He'd been paying 160 everywhere else. These were prices from before. I asked him what he did. He looked at his water glass, then at me. Then he said, "I bought one." He put in a 100 yen coin. The machine accepted it with a mechanical clunk. He pressed the button for the Plassie, the orange soda. The bottle dropped with a thud heavier than glass should make. It was cold. Not refrigerator cold. Deep cold. The cold of water drawn from underground. The kind that makes your fingers ache the instant you touch it. He held it up to the light. The liquid inside was orange but dark, and it didn't slosh when he tilted it. It moved slowly, like syrup, like something that had been sitting still so long it had forgotten how to flow. He didn't open it. He told me his hands decided for him. Something about the weight, the wrong cold, the slow, heavy movement of the liquid. His hand said, "Put it down." So he set it on the ground and stepped back. And he walked away. He found the main trail 20 minutes later. The markers reappeared. His phone found a signal. He made it to the next village, checked in, sat in the hot spring until his fingers wrinkled. And then he made the mistake of talking about it. At dinner that night, communal table, low, 4 other hikers, he mentioned the machine, described the clearing, the old brands, the wrong prices. The table went quiet. One of the others, a Japanese man in his 50s, a regular on the Kumano Kodo, walked it every year, set his chopsticks down. "Where exactly?" he asked, and after the man described it, the older hiker said, "Don't go back there and don't drink what it sells." Nobody else at the table looked up. He pressed, and the older hiker told him this, slowly, like he was choosing each word the way you choose where to step on a dark staircase. The Kumano Kodo was rerouted in several places over the centuries. Some of the original paths were abandoned. What the man had found was an original path. Nobody walks it anymore. Nobody stocks the machine. Nobody pays for the electricity. The machine runs. That's not possible, he said. No, the older hiker agreed. It's not. Then he told him about a woman 5 or 6 years before. She found a machine like the one he'd described. Old brands, wrong prices. She bought a drink, she opened it. She said it tasted like nothing she'd ever had. Sweet but wrong, like the memory of sweetness rather than sweetness itself. She said she felt full after a single sip, full in a way she'd never felt, like something had filled a space inside her she didn't know was empty. She went back the next day, bought another, and the day after, and the day after that. She stopped eating, said she didn't need to, the drinks were enough. She lost weight, but said she'd never felt better. Where is she now? She's still walking. People see her sometimes on the old paths, the ones nobody uses. She walks and she doesn't stop. She doesn't carry a pack. She doesn't eat. She doesn't sleep as far as anyone can tell. She just walks. He picked up his chopsticks and began to eat. The conversation was over. The man sitting in front of me had left that bottle on the ground, hadn't opened it, hadn't tasted it. He walked 11 days, took buses and trains back to Tokyo, flew home. He did everything right, but he'd held the bottle. The deep cold had soaked into his hand, through his skin, into the bones of his fingers, and 9 hours later, lying in the dark in the village inn, he could still feel it, a coldness that didn't fade, that sat in his right hand like a stone. And something else, a thirst. Not dry mouth thirst, a deeper want, the body remembering the weight of that bottle and wanting to know what was inside, the way you remember a door you didn't open, and the not knowing becomes its own kind of hunger. He told me it had been 3 months. He drinks water constantly, 2-3 liters a day, and the thirst is still there underneath, like a bass note under a melody. Food fills his stomach, but doesn't satisfy. He eats and he's full, and he's still hungry for something he can't name. The cold in his hand faded after 2 weeks. Then it came back, not in his hand, in his chest. A core of cold behind his sternum, like ice that won't melt. It doesn't hurt, it just sits there, heavy, patient. And when he's very still, he can feel it pulse, in, out, in, out. The rhythm of a machine in a clearing in a forest, humming in the dark, fully stocked, waiting for no one. He told me he'd started looking at maps, the old routes of the Kumano Kodo, the abandoned paths, the ones that don't appear on modern trail guides. He'd started planning a return trip, not because he wanted to go back, he didn't want to go back. He kept saying that, I don't want to go back. People who don't want to go back don't study maps at 3 a.m. He told me about a dream, walking a stone path through cedars, blue-white light through the trees, the hum, and in the dream he was already drinking. The liquid was cold and sweet, and it filled him completely, every empty space, every hollow. And he was walking, and he didn't need to stop, and he didn't want to stop, and he realized he couldn't stop, and the path went on forever. And he wasn't thirsty anymore, and he wasn't anything anymore. He woke up standing in his kitchen, 3 a.m, holding an empty glass. He didn't remember getting up, didn't remember pouring water, didn't remember drinking it. But the glass was empty, and his hand was cold, and in his chest the pulse continued. In, out, waiting to be filled. He finished his water, set the glass down carefully, the way you set down something fragile, stood up, put on his coat. At the door, he stopped. Vesper, he said, have you ever wanted something you know you shouldn't have? I smiled. I didn't answer. Some questions are their own answer. He left. I don't know if he went back to Japan. I don't know if he found the clearing again and the machine and the bottle he left on the swept earth. I don't know if the Placi was still there, still cold, still full, still waiting. I suspect it was. Things like that are patient. They don't expire. They don't run out. They sit in a forest that hasn't changed in 1,000 years, and they hum and they glow and they wait. And the cold they leave in you is not an accident. It's a hook, set deep, given time to work. You've barely touched your drink tonight. That's fine. Sometimes the glass is beside the point. But tell me, have you ever passed a vending machine in a place that made no sense? A glow at the end of a road that goes nowhere? And did you stop? Did you buy something? Did the cold settle into your hand a little deeper than it should have? No. Don't answer. Not tonight. I'll be here. I always am. And so is the machine. Somewhere in a cedar forest, on a path that no one walks, it's humming right now. Lights on, fully stocked, still cold, still waiting.